All right. Okay. So guys, welcome back. Um, Razak is live online now, and then we're back. So we'll be speaking with Razak Omotoyossi. He's a Nigerian born, but he played for the Benin national team, and he's had quite a number of it, quite a very good experience. Thank you, Akonde, for joining us. Yeah, so we'll wait for him now, and then he will join us in a very short while. Isaac, thank you. Boss, I hail you, Akonde. Thank you so much for joining. Remix, thank you. Olalex, thank you guys for joining. We're 15 minutes behind. We sincerely apologize for the delay, right? Yeah, technical stuffs. These things happen. Yeah, so we would just go straight away. Yeah, goal 8 is live now. Then we're gonna go straight. Uncle Michael Fowler, thank you so much. Papin, I see you. Boss, good afternoon.
Hey, my brother.
Yeah, boss, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm very good.
Very, very great.
I think the network is terrible.
It's terrible. I have to switch on to another network buying like that. But let's keep it on. Let's see what is happening.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better as we go on, right? It's gonna get better as we go on. Yeah.
So
So,
how are you doing?
yeah, let me first of all say Baraka de Salah to you.
Same to you, man. Same to you.
Yeah, I've got quite a number of people online. I mean, we've got people from all over the world watching this live. First of all, let me appreciate you for come online with us. We've got people from UK, from Hong Kong, from Germany, from other African nations, from Turkey. Everybody want to hear your story. I'm sure that you've got quite a few things.
Well, yeah, I appreciate also because they said that appreciation is appreciable. As in when somebody is appreciated, you have to bring it back to the person. So I can only say thanks to everyone that is online. You understand, and thanks to you also that make this program happen. So that's the only thing I can say. So vice versa, the more people appreciate you, the more you have to give back to them. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope I will be welcome 100%.
100%, you're 100% welcome. So let me just brief you a bit. So what we do on Footballers Connect is we know that a lot of people want to play football. Right now, there are many kids out there, if not for the pandemic, a lot of people will be out there, they want to play football, but they don't understand the nitty-gritty. They don't understand what it takes. They don't understand the sacrifice. They don't understand the good parts. They think it's all, he's driving a Jeep, he's driving a G-Wagon, and everybody thinks it's good, it's cool. Everybody thinks it's a very sweet story, it's a very sweet line, So we're trying to educate people and then make them understand that, hey, there are ways to doing these things, right? It's not all rosy, So we need to educate everybody and then say, hey, guys, if you're going to play football, these are the things that you need to understand. You are a Nigerian. You played football at the highest level. I just want us to go straight away. Tell us how it started. How did you begin your football career? Tell us where you're from. Originally.
Originally, I started my football in Nigeria, here in Agege. But I will single-handedly said I wouldn't chase a young one away from football because of my own story. Maybe it might be my life, or that is the way God wants my life to be. So let me put it that way, because I have a lot of journeys that before I can get there. But they can also have a fast one, which their own life or which their own experience. But to say the truth, as to long you want to play football, you got a lot of tax to pay. So, like I said, I don't want to chase anybody away that way from the but you got a lot of stars because football is like a god. It requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires a lot of things that you have to go against, even with professionals that okay, don't womanize, don't drink. So football got a lot of sacrifice. That's also true. But you, like we said, you don't make it so difficult for people like, okay, it's too hard, then we run away from it. No, it's a sacrifice. It's something that has to come from your heart. Imagine a young one, you want to play football, your mommy is complaining or your daddy is complaining, and because of that, you quit. So that means you never make up to the stars.
Yeah.
So that is the things about football. Or maybe your friend is insulting you, your English is not capable, blah blah blah. That is certified. But you know the vision.
Yeah.
You are saying it like, okay, I can get there. So the vision is all what you've been thinking. The vision is all what you've been looking up to. Like, okay, I'm going to do it and I need it. So a lot of people can support you. They can give you some, that is your sacrifice. You have to face it. You have to ignore. You have to disobey, which is your parent, maybe your sister, maybe, whoever you're staying with. So that is the sacrifice. If you can do it, football is at the palm of your finger, like you just say, and you say. But if you
let me cast your mind back. So some people say, oh, Agege is the home of football. Agege is where you will find stars. I know during your growing up, there were lots of stars that were coming from Agege. Can you tell which area do you think is the area that produced lots of football stars in Lagos? Is it Agege? Is it Oshodi? Is it Surulere? Is it Lagos Island? Tell us.
Gone are those days. In let me say 80s, that is when I know. I wouldn't really know 70s, but 80s, football is always in Surulere, Ebutemeta, she understand. But in late 80s to 90s, since Agege Stadium was existing and things, league was established, football has changed. Start from the principal corps, start from even the headmaster corps. You understand? They are coming small and small and small. So towards 90s, forget about it. Agege is home of football, and that is the fact. Because today I can single-handedly say this is national team player from Agege. Apart from those ones that come from Port Harcourt or blah, blah, blah. When we are talking about the real national team, they are bound, like they have lived their life. They might not be born from Agege, but they have lived their life, their experience in Agege. So, and it's the same thing. So Agege is one area that, okay, everybody just wants it to be there. Like, okay, what are they doing there? I want to join them. I want to see it. So it only depends how the kind of people you mingle with. Do you understand? If you mingle with the right people, right somebody that can put you to the limelight, like, okay, train here, jog here, run here, come. Even after training, we have some old men that can encourage you. You haven't eat, take this money, eat, get this to buy your boots. And that is where I say football has a tax, because these are things that take you away from football. If you don't have good balls, you want to play on archery stuff, you need a good canvas. These are things a footballer needs. So how many people can stand there? They can be there for you. That's the question. How many people they can say, okay, you need 20,000, you are traveling to Abuja to sign a contract with a team in Abuja? It's the same thing. So these are things you needed at the point you needed. That's why I say it's a tax if you can face it.
Very true. Very true. Very true. So which club exactly did you play for when you were at Agege? I know a few clubs in Pako, Amo. Which club exactly did you play with while you were growing up?
Well, Let me now say, Doc, from the start of my life, I've always aspired from far. Let me say, I play a team. Maybe that's why I have a tie cane. Like I have a twins. They are twins. So I play tie cane, Tasco. They call it Tasco, which is tie cane, something like that, which is like under 7, under 8, which is not Ilepaco. But I am son of Ilepaco, but I choose not to play for them until I came back and I decided, okay, let me just take my experience. And we went to Abeokuta to have some experience, which is bad one, but it's one of those things you understand. Like we are in the camp, no food, nothing. We just hustling. If my friend was online now, that we should have been the one to tell me the story very well, because you know that kind of things. Like, but it is a tax that we are paying. Like your mother have given them money, but no one to communicate with. There is no phone, there is nothing. But at least we just felt like, okay, we need to play outside, and we are there moving. So are things that we're going to face in football. You can't be 100% sure that everything is going to be rosy every day. Even Messi, Ronaldo, they can get the best salary, but the day they are not playing fine, they will feel bad. That's the tax he is paying at that moment. And he's going to like, okay, let me go and train. Let me add to my training. Let me reduce what I'm doing. So it's a question to his own body.
Interesting. So, guys, if you're with us, we're going to ask questions. I've got a couple of questions to ask Omotoyossi, and then he's going to respond to us. I will take questions from you guys as well. Thank you guys for joining from wherever you are. I've seen someone says from Germany. I've seen people from America. I've seen people from UK, everywhere around the world. So tell us, share with us your club experience in Nigeria. When you started growing up, leaving boyhood clubs, share with us how it was like joining a professional team. Where did it begin? How?
Yeah, I have a team that is playing in Keja League. The Keja League means the lower divisional league of Lagos State, and which is called Power Team. May so rest in perfect peace, which is our coach now is passed away. So then from there, I joined LSPC. You understand? LSPC means Lagos State Housing, whatever.
Yes, housing team. Yeah.
Yes, that is amateur 2. So that means I have improved in one step to amateur 2. Then I play a season with them. Then I joined ABAD, Nigerian Professional Division 2, which is another step. And from there, then I joined Sunnyside Star.
So
that's the way journey of Nigerian League. But I have a lot of story if I want to say about it. But that's shocking of okay.
I think we're going to get to that point. I mean, let's just continue with the preliminary information right now.
Okay.
Let's go to the professional Nigerian League. So can you compare that time with this period? If you're going to make a comparison, do you think it's the same standard?
I can't hear you very well. Can you come back? Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. Yeah. So I said, then you played for Sunshine Stars. Is it the same atmosphere? Do you think treatment then and now is still the same? Do you think there's a real big difference between that period and this period in the Nigerian Premier League?
To be honest with you, then gonna do say that I'm playing with Sunshine Stars. I think we were one of the best teams, paying very well. But fine, the administration might not be 100%, which is normal because of the only thing that can make Nigerian football to go higher is when the politics is out of football. And I know this is what FIFA is trying to take. Like, okay, there is no politics, it's all football. And football is all about love. If I'm not talking to you, if you are my enemy, and we have been choosing in the same team, I have to call you pass. Double listening.
passed to me. So if I essentially say that, that means I'm communicating with him. So his most object in this world that is brings love out of anything. We can leave the pitch and you guys can start fighting again, no problem. But once we are in the same thing, there is nothing you can do. I have to communicate to you, you have to communicate.
Yeah, very true.
So
very true.
it's one of the objects God used in this world that we should be able to communicate and forget whatever happened. And eventually I'm a striker and I'm fighting you and you give me 3 passes and I score 3 goals. Tell me, maybe I would just like feel it, whatever has happened, let me just stand now.
Yeah, very true.
I should be able to just wave it up. So it brings joys and love. So that's all I know that can help Africans in a nutshell, because Europeans, they are already great. They might not be 100% good or fine, but they are already great, like a journey for a student or a footballer. Like, okay, if you go to GS1, you go to GS2. From GS2 to GS2. So it's left for you if you're good. If you're not good, then you need to back up. But here, this is what we need to create. Then we can see a lot of talent that we have. A lot of talent that we have, and we can bring talent again. Because what I'm saying today, you never can know the kind of kid that is listening to me, and they can say, okay, as this brother said this, let me try. And from his trying, he can bring something out of it.
Yeah.
So you don't discriminate.
So I'm going to say this. At some point, you were playing in the Nigeria Premier League before you left Nigeria. I mean, do you want to share some of those experiences with us? How did this European experience? What was the beginning point? What was the starting point of this European experience, even down to leaving Nigeria? Do you want to share some of those experiences with us?
Yeah, I think it's a good experience, and it's a sad one sometimes if you think how the journey.
I think, yeah.
So
yeah, go on.
What I'm saying is, the sad one is, I left Nigeria with a sadness, with a lot of issue in my mind, and a lot of things that I was thinking about. But thank God today,
I think, okay, yeah, we're with you. Go on.
Sorry. So all I can say is, from that, like I said, I played division amateur, then to Pro 2 to Pro 1, which is Sunshine Star. Then I was banned for 5 years. Banned as a 17-year-old, but was banned for 5 years in football. Tell me what can go in his brain. Tell me how he can live. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The fact that I don't even know why I was banned, or why I was banned, or whatever happened, I don't know nothing about. So I should call myself like I thank my God and I thank my spirit that never leave me behind. Like, don't give up. If this thing is not working, one thing we can work. You understand? And the Yoruba sọ pé tó bá lé ń bì kan, wàá lọ síbì kan. If someone chases you away, you can get to another place. You can't be stagnant. So that's the knowledge. I was banned for the first 5 months, no salary, nothing. I went to NFF. What is his name? If I could remember. I went there more than 5-6 times from Lagos to Abuja without no money. Like hustling, begging people, staying for some days in people's house. There's no way I can't afford hotel. But since same man keeps saying, "Oh, you're wrong," but never check about my age and think about my standard, that then this boy absorbed this punishment. He never sat down. Taiwo Ogujobi. Today, he's doing his own judgment with God, but may God forgive him. He's the Secretary General at that point. So when I stay home for 5 months, no money, some of my friends start insulting me. Shebi, you say football. Shebi, you see rubbish. You understand? You get negativity, you get positivities. Everything is so sad. You down, you up. Everything is taken in your brain. You don't know where to move to. So if I have opportunity to now live to Nigeria and play in another country, no one should be blaming. And I've said to everyone in the world, I've never regret, and I will never regret to be a Benin. Never.
Very interesting. I mean, I could feel the pain as you were saying. You said you left Nigeria sad. I mean, as a 17-year-old player who had to leave Nigeria because he was banned, I can just imagine. I played football at some point, and then I could imagine how it would have been for me to be banned at the time, right? It's just unimaginable. But a lot of reports said that you denied that you didn't do what they said you did. Yet, did you think that this matter was well investigated? Do you think it was well investigated?
Yeah, it's not well investigated, and at the end of the day, I've already chosen, after like 6 months that I was invited to the national team of Benin. I refused the first call, and I went to my dad. He's late now. He's so rest in perfect peace. That's my Lord. He said, Baba, this is what they say, blah, blah, blah. And he told me one thing. He said, look, you know, I love watching football, but I am not into football. If you feel as is born, you think it's a good decision, you feel free. And that's the only thing he told me. And we drink his Pepsi then, and I take my own Pepsi too. He went to his room, and I go back outside with my friends, and I said, okay, I will try our own like you to make you proud one day. That's what I told him. So coming back from the World Cup, he was so glad, like, wow.
We'll get to the World Cup. We'll get to the highest level, right? I mean, you already mentioned that you don't regret the decisions that you made at the time. Tell us, yeah. So Taiwo, when he received, okay, let me put it this way: your first chance to play out of Africa or out of Nigeria, and then out of in Europe. What did it feel like? The first time you went to play in Europe, what was the feeling like?
Yeah, my first international game is in Libya in I think July 16, 2005. No, 2004. And then I scored a goal, and I was the man of the match then. Under 85,000 capacity. Why I haven't played under 5,000 capacity? So it's a away game. That's my first game to Benin. As in a new player, oh yeah, come and go and show yourself. So it's a big task for me. It's a big challenge. It's not really fine, but I'm only happy for. The only thing I'm happy for that is I have never crossed across airports in my life. But one thing is, I am now traveling with a private jet on my first time.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Wow.
So I just feel myself, I was flying from Cotonou, I think, to Tripoli is around 4 or 5 hours. I was crying all through. Like, is it me? Are you serious? Is that possible? I was asking myself a question. You that you are bound to some few months ago, you know, it's a very, very, very rough road. There are things that I won't be able to say. Even for me to change my destination from Nigeria, the fact is, somebody called me Oli. That is the fact I left Nigeria. One of my friends said I watches is part of what I left Nigeria. So you can see it's not a soft or easy journey or easy, but everybody
I think the network from Razak's end is a bit crappy, so we would wait while he comes back. Okay, yeah, I think you're back now. Yeah.
the network, I don't understand. Try.
Yeah, so before you go on, right, I want to do a quick shout out to King Tai Taiwo. Tai Taiwo is here with us. You mentioned his name earlier, so he has joined us now. What's the relationship between you? It seems like it's a very cordial one. It's a very close one. Tell us.
Yeah, my journey with Taita is, I think, is a long journey. We have shared a lot of things, good, and some things that is rough. And the family issue, we always there for each other. So it's one of my cool guys. So there is nothing I can say. Much I can say about him with time. He's just a stubborn boy. So that's the only thing I can say about him.
So let me go to Tai Taiwo again. So I watched a live session. Tai Taiwo said when he received his first 10,000 euros, when he got to Marseille, yeah, they gave him 10,000 euros, and that day he was just checking his bag. He was checking his purse if that 10,000 euros was still there. Okay. Tell us when you received that kind of money.
First, I will say, Tai, that is not the money you cherish too much. You know, I know the money you cherish much in Abeokuta. That's number one I will send to you. But secondly, to be honest, money sometimes is not everything, but the process and whatever you think you want to be or you aspire to be. You understand? Maybe you think it's going to happen in 20 years or in 40 years, and you got it right in 5 years or in 3 days. You have to got shock. You have to like, am I dreaming? Or what happened? Or am I sure? So the only time I can say it's maybe when I signed a new deal in that nursery, and they pay 5 million euro to my team. And I said, okay, I don't want to play again. I'm going back to my country. So the president of the team at that time gave me 35,000 euro if I score a goal.
Wow.
500 notes, as in 500 notes, that's 5,000 euros. And I said, are you joking?
Wow. And
I scored 2 goals, which he gave me 17,000 euros. But I was just thinking, this man is whining me. I have to go and hide the money in my shoe. One of my shoes that no one will think I will wear. I just packed the shoe there and say, this man. I was thinking, we are at the hotel because it's a away game. We are at the hotel, everybody was dancing with me. I'm not thinking, I was just like, hey, see, but that my shoe is there. So when we wake up in the morning, I just tell them that we have a national team game. I'm going to Zimbabwe, and we are playing Zimbabwe for 2. The president called me and said, "Are you sure you're going to travel with this money?" I said, "Oh God, don't worry, I will travel." Everybody was just laughing like this guy. My money go kill you. Every time they fight for money.
You're fine now.
So that's the only time I was cast away like, oh, these people are really serious. So that's where football can take you to. That can make you whatever you want to be. Like football is most fashionable things anyone can have in his life. JJ, Sava,
Interesting.
Titi.
So
I see you, my nigga.
yeah. So let's you that was when you saw the money and you're like, oh my god, this money is
What? I no sleep now. You know they hear the story. I kept the money in a rough shoe, something that you don't even think I can put that kind of money. Then I put it back in very well. All the fine shoes I keep on there. Make them carry them. But this time, no one will touch them. Do you understand that kind of thing? Like, hey, they carry this. You can't be able to sleep because imagine how much is my salary in Sunshine. Then I think it's 35,000 naira. With tax, I will collect 31,000 or something. Imagine there's somebody that is being credited 35,000 naira. Then now got 70,000 euros. Don't tell me you are joking. It's going to be mad. It's going to, if your care is not taken, you're going to misbehave like, oh, whatever I want, I will have to do it today. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a lot of money. So tell us, you were home after the ban in Nigeria, right? You were home for about 9 months, according to reports. What was the turning point? How did it happen? You left Nigeria. How did it happen? Tell us.
Yeah, that's where I said. If you're thinking about football, it's a big journey and a big tax. Because for the past 9 months should be in Nigeria, but for me it's 5 months because the 4 next month, no one knows I have already been in Benin, playing small league and invited. So everything is 9 months approximately, which is right. But the fact is, okay, Johnson is not paying me my salaries anymore. I couldn't be able to train with the team according to the contract. It's just like I'm isolated somewhere, like, okay, man, go if you want to go. So, and I remember the chairman then, Obaloyo, said, because I have issue with NFF. I said, but I don't have issue with NFF. You want to face the NFF. But he chose not to do. It. So what can I do? So to eat, to mingle with friends, with insult. That was where I said I was even forced to go to them because somebody said I am a chief. One of my colleagues, we are living together like, okay, all these our face me and face you. Then said that stole my watches. I even have two that you are borrowing from me. So why should I stay borrowing watches? He accused me and left school. But in the morning I knew it was coming from La Parias. Then that's why I did singing in La Parias. I still remember that one of those days. So when I said that, when I come back, I saw you praying. I was praying. You said good morning. I said good morning. Since then, I have come outside. But he still insisted that I'm the one that stole the watch. I said no. And he left home. We have an argument. But the next morning, God who made the whole world, the same place I was sitting down, the same place I was praying, the same woman that greeted me first and said, good morning, my baby, yeah, where is my son? And I said, Mama, he has left out and he's not around. And she now came back and I said, One of you are looking for washroom because I saw one wash outside. I saw they wash it outside yesterday. I said, Mommy, wait. I went to call all our friends, neighbors that they are around. She now be doing the wash, which we are waiting for. But all I'm saying now is everything that you just caught me on awareness, like, did I do anything wrong to this guy? Insulting me? Is it because I'm old? Because if I wasn't at home,
Yeah.
it's nonsense. Okay, fine. And I choose. It was after like 3-4 days, and they come from Kobe and said, yeah, we need a striker, we know we can do that. But I just tell them, don't worry, tomorrow I'll give you my decision, I'll give you what exactly I want. In the night I was thinking about it, and I said, even if you left to me, all this rubbish will come. Are
Interesting.
you there? I said,
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All these things cannot happen to you. They don't see you. They won't say bad things about you, or you won't discuss all this bullshit. That's why I left. And I spent that 4 months, which is 9 months. Okay? By even 2 months, I was already invited. Like I said, God said, make your decision. And I don't think I regret it. And I will never regret it.
Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting. I mean, I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes. At 17, you were banned. Someone accused you that you stole his wristwatch, and then the wristwatch was later found. You just had to leave. You just had to leave Nigeria. I mean, there are lots of people who are going through this same kind of situation, right? But what I can only say is, it is good to stay strong wherever you are, no matter the situation. It is very, very good to stay strong. At the time, what about your parents? At the time, what about your parents around this period?
Yeah, this is the time my parents, especially my mom, finds she doesn't like football. My dad is always in support, but this time they are like, okay, where can we go to? Can we go to Abuja, give me money, Abuja coming back home? So they're scared. They're just like, this boy is not going to turn mad. They can see that I'm stressed out. I'm dying inside. But they wouldn't know how to run about it because they are not into football. You understand? They don't know who and who to run to, who and who to talk to, or who and who to mingle with. All they will need is to ask me questions, and I am not ready to tell them because I will feel like if I tell them, they will still be feeling bad.
I feel you.
Best I can.
So
best I can say is everything in our family is going to be fine.
interesting. All right. So I'm going to take one more question from my question, and then I'm going to ask the audience question. So you were the first player from Benin Republic to score at under 20 level in 2005. What ran through your mind at that stage? What was on your mind? How exactly did you feel at the time?
You see, my goals in that World Cup means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to Benin entirely because it can change. No one can change that. And I'm proud of myself on behalf of my family, my mom, my dad, my kids, my loved one that's always supported me from the start. That goal is there. Because also, after the Nations Cup, I wasn't really welcome again in the team. They are planning to take me out of the team. It's not your work, it's not our country, blah blah blah. You know, different messages is coming, different things coming. But to the God we give to glory and everything. Okay, we have some games and we play. So everybody was just like, okay, this person playing fine in the Nations Cup. I was the third best player, me, Kai, and what is Rising Promise.
Yeah.
Three best player in that Nations Cup in Benin. Why do you want to drop this boy? Why? What happened? You understand? One question is being asking different. So all those questions like, okay, what can we do? Well, unfortunately, when we play against France, I scored 2 goals and I was the best player in the match, friendly match against France. So they don't have any options. It's my game. So it's very tough for me to get to the World Cup. Scoring the first goal in the tournament, scoring the first goal for Benin in the World Cup is a very, very big place. For me to say like no one but me.
Let me ask, how was the relationship between you and the Beninois? Like the guys who were originally from Benin, and they know that you are from Nigeria and you've just been added into the team. Was there maybe like any negative energy from any of the players at any point in time?
Yeah, if you are asked Rashidi Yekini today, it's always been negative. Rashidi Yekini was well known as one of the best scorers for Nigerian national team. But you always have people that felt like, okay, it's our time. So that one is natural. I think talking regardless, like you are not even been born, you are not their blood. So it's a task. It's something you have to work more. I mean, if like I tell my young player, if they are traveling, if a player is playing 70%, you have to play 140. Because for me to leave my child and take you, it means you have confused. You make me confused. Like, okay, yes, without you there is no one. My first experience that I will give audience today, and I want everybody to ask me if they can be able to play football in the same team. If you are a coach today and your son, somebody that your biological son is also a striker like me, and you are playing the same thing, how can you go? So,
drama. Serious drama.
And that's the way I cope with FC Sheriff, and I spent 2 years there.
We'll come
even
to
have my fourth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even have my fourth Champions League goal as a player that plays in Champions League, and I have a goal that I can call a Champions League. That is my first game under 17 minutes, because he always set me out, put me in the time he wanted me to be on the pitch. So it's left to me to work hard.
Now let me ask you now. I'm going to take a question from the audience. I see one question from Kosi Chukwuemeka. Chukwuemeka is a journalist. I see one from JJ Ayodeji. Now I'm going to take Chukwuemeka's question first. He said he has stories to tell. Was he ever told to bribe to play for Nigeria? Did anybody ever ask you to bribe to play for Nigeria at any point in time?
Yeah, Nigeria has ever asked me for bribe in 2008 and 2010. A bribe to play for Nigeria is not mine is a bribe to lose a game to Nigeria, which I never did. Okay.
Wow. What year was that?
2008, 2010 Nations Cup. Nigeria, Benin, they have an issue to sort out.
Interesting. So, I mean, when you were approached, what how did you think like it was normal? You guys left me out of your country. You forced me out of your country, and then you want to bribe me to ease a game for you. What was your reaction?
Oh, my reaction is good. My reaction is all about like I'm happy and I'm proud of myself. Like I said, I'm proud of myself. Like, okay, these are the people that thinks I won't be able to make it. These are people that want my journey to be short. These are the people that just want me to cut on aware. Like, I'm Obitoa, we don't know where it is. You get it now. So coming to me and start dragging like, okay, don't play well tomorrow for us. It's just an honor to me. Like they just brought invitation letter. Yet I still did what I want to do. I want them to feel that feels like I deserve more better. There's no money you can give. You understand? There's no money. Whatever you need a point. And you need that point, like, okay, you need these 3 points, and you beg me more than that. I want you to lose because you sold me out. So it might not be money every time, but whoever neglected you and come back to you and give you one option, knows that the God has given you that grace. Like, okay, so you can come back to me. So you come ready. So just be 100% happy inside you. 100% call yourself like you're a winner. Like I am a winner. Because those people never believe you can even sit down with them having a discussion or anything. So discussing with them now is an opportunity. It's an increase. Amales fans, I greet you or I love you. So that's the fact I can say.
Interesting. I mean, I remember one of the games in AFCON 2008. That match was tough. I think that was the one that ended 2-1, or is it the one in 2010? I think it was 2010 that ended 2-1.
Yeah. 2010 is 1-0. One is
2010 was 1-0. Yeah. Yes, 2008.
Yeah, it was
that game.
No, to me and the player like Taiwo, like Yobo, like Martins, we are all friends, and we grow up to make football so hard for ourselves because, hard is no parts wants to lose. It's all about that from day one. Like Taiwo was not really Agege born, but it's from Yanopaja to Agege playing with us and training us. But playing each other from day one, you don't want to lose. So that rivalries is there for a very long time. So I remember 2010 before the national camp, I think we are going to Togo to have our camp, and they are going to, I don't know whatever the camp, right? I don't remember. 2 days before the camp, me, Martins, Yogo, Taiwo, we were together, sitting down, chatting, talking. We will kill you. You understand? So that's the joy of the game. Like, you have to do. You have to do. But after the game, we're both all friends. They're both family. But to the fans, it's different to the. They might think in another way, like, I want my game. It's not about my
Interesting. Yeah, so I mean, Fisayo Dairo is asking, Fisayo Dairo says, we know that it is sensitive, but can he say what kind of people that approached him? Is it a coach or NFF official? You might choose not to answer this question if you don't want to. But I mean, is it a coach or an NFF official?
What? Coach, for me not to play for Nigeria?
No, for you to not play well against Nigeria.
Well, I can't say, let me put it this way, I can't say 100% is a culture, but all of them already have their own agreements. You know what I'm capable of doing, you know my abilities. So definitely everybody will be discussed about it, like, okay, I have to go and play, if you play, blah, blah, blah. So I won't be able to say 100% this is the person. The only person that approached me is the one I'm telling you now, and I felt I am happy. I am not saying like he's approaching me because of that game. I am saying it for way back, saying it for what I have gone through, saying it for somebody that is neglected, that does not want it. And today, you are the one coming to me and said, please, don't do this, don't do that. So what should I be thinking of? I don't even care if they have culture. Yeah, I'm just post of myself personally, thinking of like, okay, is that the way God creates this world? Because I don't believe I can have opportunity to talk, which I have one day. So
interesting. So Yasser Adele _4 is asking, can you answer me? Okay, after you left Zamalek, where did you play and what about now? Of course, this information is everywhere. After you left Zamalek, where did you play? Where did you go to? Maybe you might want to answer him, Yasser. This is Zamalek fan.
Yes, Zamalek fans. After I left Zamalek, I was stopped for 1 year by Zamalek, which they didn't allow me to play everywhere, and they are not paying me salaries. They didn't even send me my invitation to come back to me. So I was home for 1 year. And after that, I went back to Syrianska, which is a team in Sweden. Like, okay, let me go back to where I was. And Zamalek still blocks me not to play. And then I went back to Karamama Sport in Turkey, Division 2. And then from there, I go back to Morocco. In Israel, and also play another team. Then, that's the way it's going.
Okay. So I'm going to take more questions from the audience. I've got a few more questions, and I'm going to try and match them together. So you had a very good time.
To me,
yeah.
It's okay. It's nice. It's one of my best friends. He started ahead of me joining the national team of Benin. But when I got there, he's a cool brother. So that's the relationship between me and him.
Interesting. So tell us, you had a very good time in Sweden and Moldova. Which of these experiences would you like to have again if you had an opportunity?
Yeah. How can you say it? Well, Moldova is the starting point. It's not going to be so that easy. But Sweden is the next point, which I'm seeing money investing at this small takes of life. Like, okay, this is Fajiwa. Do you understand that kind of thing? Like,
yes.
Different Moldova and Sweden. And Swedish are even more wise word more than Moldova because they are Russians. All I can say is then I'm fortunate to play with big player like Eric Larson. So I think it's a big success for me. It's a big joy. It's massive. Like you have it. God just give you a chance like that. Somebody I watched 2004 World Cup and I'm playing alongside with him, and I'm my high school scorer in the league. I'm my high school scorer in the Europa Cup game. Long time with Luca Tonis. I have 8 goals. He has 8 goals. So I can say it's one of the memory I want God to bring back again because I know it's one of my good favorites.
Interesting. And then you had a very good time, very, very good time at Helsingborg in Sweden. Helsingborg in Sweden. It was, I mean, you scored quite a number of goals. You had very good game with Erik Larsson and the likes. Now, there were reports that some clubs came for you from the Eredivisie. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. So there were reports that you had interests from clubs in Eredivisie, that is in Holland and some other countries like Groningen and Ereveen. Would you like to share some of those things if they were true? Were those reports true?
Yeah, in every transaction in football, there's always, how can I say, there's always a good interest and a bad interest. Yeah, I should be able to play in Ereveen then, but all I knew is my team not what exactly I wanted. I can say today, at that time I was proud of getting 4,000 euro as salary, which is 40,000 kroner, Swedish krona. Then, and I want to be sold for 3 million euro. All I ask is for them to give me my own percentage. If I'm going and the team is not ready to pay a sign-on fee for me, all they want to do is to pay the transfer. And I said, pay me 10%, then I'll be fine. They refused not to pay until they see another transfer to Saudi Arabia. And the Saudi Arabia team is ready to pay me what I wanted. So what do you expect? But I knew, and I'm sure, and I can even boast of it, that more than 4 or 5 regular players go to the same Holland on 1.5 million euro. So you get it now, 1.5 million euro, which you want to show me 3 to 4 million euro, yet you don't want to pay my own tax as a young boy coming up. Okay, you to take 10% will not cost them more than 300,000, which is the same 10% pay to a player you sold 1.5 million euro. So sometimes it's because it's not our home, and we are blacks. All those things also acquired.
Did you have an agent at the time that was negotiating on your behalf, or you were negotiating yourself?
Yeah. I have an agent, and the agent is saying the same thing I'm saying, like, okay, if my player is doing this, is what you have.
Interesting.
So if they choose not to leave you, he will do the same thing. So that means in a football world, most times a footballer is always like, take what you have from them. If you are talking about me, I am just having a grace. If Ronaldo can be, how can I say, if Ronaldo can be bound with his country, like, okay, go to a jail, then in the football world, you have to be very, very careful and be strong.
I'm going to come to football world. So Instagram is going to take us down a bit because we have to connect again. We've passed 1 hour, so we're going to come back and we'll wrap up in the next session. Please, guys, just please come back with us. Instagram is taking us down because we have reached 1 hour mark. Please, we're going to connect immediately again. Please join us again, please. Going to go connect straight away. When it got to playing amongst people who may not be so happy to have you because they feel like you're taking their chance. They feel like you're the one taking their chance. Yes, we have you back. You were sharing with us. Thank you so much for everything that you have revealed to us. I mean, I'm not sure if some of these informations are out, but with what you have shared with us, a lot of people are going to learn from this experience. I was asking if you had an agent, and you said you had an agent then. So the club didn't want you to benefit from the transfer. That's what I can deduce from, or that's what I can understand from your explanation. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are.
Interesting. Quite interesting. You know, a lot of young players want to leave Africa. This is part of the reasons why we set up this platform, to educate and inform young people that, hey guys, you need to have people on your side who are going to have your back, people who understand the business of football, who are not going to cheat you. I mean, did you always have one agent, or did you change agents at some point? I want you to share your story with agents with us. Did you change agents at some point?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge. Then you need one agent, trustworthy. But what is going on now? An agent cannot be able to handle the matters. Reason is, the way football runs these days means, like in a team, they have their own agents. You understand? Maybe they have 2, 3, 4 agents. They have chief scouts.
Yeah.
So if eventually you want to play in mind, it has a lot of things that you have to do, and a lot of sacrifice. Maybe your agent has to wait for you. If he thinks he really loves you and he wants you to be in mind, you get it. Like, okay,
I think the line is breaking from Razak's end. The network is a bit poor.
Can you hear me?
Maybe when it comes. Yeah, yes, we can hear you now. We didn't hear all what you said earlier. You can repeat again. Can you repeat again?
What I'm saying is, in the football world now, then maybe you need one agent. Now you need solid agents, because in most of the biggest teams, or in most of right team a player has to play, they have their own personal agent or their own personal scout. So your agent has to work with them, or has to be their friend or somebody, their colleague. So you get the story now. Because if you don't have all those things, then your contract or your transfer is going to have issues. These days, if they want to decide to sign a player, it has to come like, okay, maybe the chief scout, leave the coach alone. The coach is the final barrier. But I'm talking about the chief scout, because they are the ones to go and watch the player maybe a couple of times, which the coach is not going to be free. They are going to watch his training sometimes, if he decided. Sometimes he has to watch his lifestyle. Maybe he's arrogant, maybe he's, you understand?
Yeah.
Somebody that is paying 200 million, you should know where he's spending the money to. You want to know your lifestyles, marital affairs. So a lot of things goes with football these days. But the same thing happened those times, because you have one agent. If your agent is not really cooperating with the whole entire crew of that club, I don't think the transaction can be worked. The transfer might not be worked.
Interesting. So I want you to share with us. Now, we've read stories of, I mean, I don't know if you experienced this at any point in time. We've received quite a number of messages from people when we shared information that, we want to bring Razak Omotoyossi. He's coming to share with us his nationality switch and everything. Now, tell us.
Shino Okeleji.
So Shino Okeleji joins us. There's also Izuna here. Izuna Izuchukwu. I'm going to have Izuna Izuchukwu share with us, because he's got quite a lot of experience in Midtjylland, in Denmark. He's going to come and share with us. So people are interested. You shared earlier that does it have to do where you're from? Does it have to do with where you're from? Does it have to do with, he's from Nigeria, he's from Benin Republic, he's from Cameroon? What part does your country, where you're from, play when you want to sign a professional contract in Europe?
No, Nigeria. Let's put it this way: Nigeria is football nation ahead of Benin.
Yeah.
Nigeria is football nation ahead of Benin. There is no doubt about it. Even all these things that I'm saying, if I've played a little that I playing in football to Nigerian national team, should have had more credit to my personality. But that's why I said I didn't regret, because I wasn't give that chance. And nobody is ready to listen to your story. So if you quite have a little one, you use it. Because I can remember then I want to start in Middlesbrough after the World Cup. You understand, after the World Cup, but they said the Benin national team did not have 75%. I haven't played 75% of, there are tasks that Nigerian color can help. But I wasn't really choosing. So I won't be able to be blaming myself over there, because if I keep saying it with sunshine, only God knows where I'm going to be today.
Maybe you won't even play the national team of Nigeria.
You never can tell.
Interesting.
So the best you can do is you move on with your life. Fine. The national color sometimes. As a Brazilian, having 2-3 goals with my Brazilian national team, I can belt you. I can promise you the player can sign one of the best teams in France. Just a 2 goals, 3 goals, simple. But at the same time, with the upcoming national team in Africa, you have to work hard. They have to see it in you like, okay, he can do it. Remove everything. Which has only a Rashford. He's a very good player. He's a fantastic footballer. But the fact is, if Rashford is coming from Liyimba, Rashford will never wear my jersey. That's the fact.
Interesting.
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
Because he's coming from a lower division in England, and they can just see 2 or 3 streaks in the signing. But he has the ability and he's using it. That's what they call a quick road, as in a short road. Something that can just make the money. That way. Imagine a player now move from Oshodi, now go to Songo, from Songo, now go to Diloko, from Diloko, now go to Benin, and now enter Benin, now spend 17 years, and before you now enter the national team. Just see all these things is just, it's only few people that can have that. Only short people.
I'm going to ask a very straightforward one now. If you are going to advise anyone that wants to switch nationality to Benin Republic, let's say, for instance, he didn't experience what you experienced, would you advise that person to switch his nationality to Benin Republic?
Yeah, I might say, okay, it's good, and I might say it's wrong. Where I can say it is good, because a full Beninois and the lifestyles in Benin, they always give you a grace and a chance. But if I might say it's wrong, it's because you can follow my foot. I am Mr. Razak. He can never be Mr. Razak again. It's either you are higher than me, or you are lower to my division. Go and write it somewhere. If there is Messi, there is not going to be a Messi again. It's either somebody that is bigger than Messi or is lower than Messi. So that means God knows his own food, and he knows his own way of life and the way he wanted us to live life and understand life. Benin is a good country. They have their own discrimination and their own attitude. That one is normal. Like I said to someone, He's living in one of my apartments, and he said somebody shouted on him. And I asked him, when you were living in your father's house, hope your father did not even tell you real, or are you stupid? He said he used to say, so when you are leaving somebody's house, the person will not tell you real, not tell you you're stupid. He will. So it means until you get your own house, until you can browse or you can brag, say, oh, I may get all this one. But as far you are living under a roof of somebody, you guys are going to have an argument. It's for you to bring it away because you know where you're going to.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Go on. Go ahead. You were saying, go ahead. If you still want to continue.
Come back. I can't hear you.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, if you had played for Nigeria, World Cup would have been sure. Do you think? Do you regret that you didn't play in the World Cup, at the FIFA World Cup, the senior national team?
Yeah, I might say, yeah, fine. I would say that I regretted, like, okay, if I have opportunity to play for Nigeria, I should have been in that World Cup. But if I think in another way, that if I did not even have opportunity to become a league player in Nigeria, because I was banned for 5 years, and if I stayed at home for 5 years, how am I supposed to be a league player? So it's for me to accept my journey, accept my word, accept my effort. Like, okay, this is how God wants things to be for me. I am not born like, that's why I make Rashford an example for you. Some people are just born to have the opportunity immediately. Bam. Some people has to work for it before they wear Man U jersey. Igalo, for example, he has already played in England because nobody is ready to buy him to Manchester United. Until Igalo now went to China, playing in China for 4 or 5 years, now Igalo is now becoming a Manchester United player. So that is life for you. He has to make a long journey before he came back. So everybody has his own glory and his own time.
Igalo believes in favor over labor, right? Do you also believe in favor over labor? Because looking at your journey, right? If you had decided to wait for that 5 years, maybe you might not even play football again. So do you believe in that favor over labor?
Yeah, well, your English is a little bit stronger for me. Favor over labor. No. Because, one thing about interview or what we say outside, we have to be diplomacy about it, and they have to get it correctly. If you're telling me now, he believes favor over labor, I put it in another way that in the same country, he was there playing, become one of the highest goal scorers, if I can be sure, because I know he scored more than 20 goals in Watford. But he wasn't have the opportunity to sign for Manchester United. So I don't believe that word is that I would say he has the grace. And it's just a grace that he's born to be there, but he has to work for it. But some people are not destined. The day they was born, they will be there immediately. So maybe the English that he is using, it might not be what I understand. All I understand, like, he was in the same country. Like you're asking me now, did you not play for Nigerian League? Why they did not invite you? So they didn't see me. So I have to walk, go to somewhere else, blah, 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 before they now know that you know how to play ball.
You exist.
So everybody...
I like the words that you have chosen. I mean, that was that's a very smart response, right? You use the word grace, that you will get to where you are meant to be, and you have to work hard for it.
2 words. Because there is nothing we can do. I think I listened to somebody on Instagram today that if you said you are alpha and you sit down, you are praying, you didn't even work, you didn't do anything, who will not bring money to your account?
Very true.
So he has already been there. No one see him, no one give him that opportunity. So he left. The grace also come back, like he's a good player, he's doing this, he's doing that, and God give him the grace, and that's it.
Interesting. So in Europe, who was your best strike partner in Europe that you played with?
I would say Eric Clarkson, because one is my legend before I met him. 2, I learned 1 or 2 things from him. 3, is a free man, like which is like a friend. Like, oh, you don't understand, because his real father is from Tanzania, so he loves blacks, he's free, he talks to you like a young boy, like, okay, life is not like this. I think he's the best. Like, I've played with Mido, I played with a lot of big strikers that they are good, but Eric Clarkson is phenomenal.
Interesting. What about in Benin Republic? Who was your best strike partner at the time? In Benin Republic.
In Benin, as a national team, it's just a day game. It's just a few days journey. So you cannot really accumulate or exaggerate who is your best partner. In a club wise, you have a lot of people you see every blessed day. Maybe sometimes you see in the morning, you train in the afternoon again. So to be able to say, okay, I know this person, but somebody will just come maybe 1 week, 3 days, 4 days, everybody else. But to the best of my knowledge, all my partners are my friends. But I have number 1 person that make me understand French today, that puts me to limelight of Day of the Benin.
In Benin.
Is Shitu Rashad, one of the greatest goalkeeper, because he can speak Yoruba at the same time. He also understands French. So whatever is happening, is one of the person that gives me the information. It's one of my greatest partner, I can say, like when it comes to national team, because I don't really mingle with people when it comes to national team.
You're a legend in Benin Republic. I mean, you're a legend of football. At the level which you played, anybody who plays up to that level of football should be called a legend. I mean, you scored about 21 goals. I don't know if that 21 goals recorded by Wikipedia is correct, but is it correct?
It's not even correct. It's not correct.
Okay, tell us. How many goals did you score for Benin Republic?
Well, for my own country, to the best of my knowledge, without friendly matches, I should have 35 goals. But with friendly matches, in-built goals, I should have up to 46 goals.
Interesting. I mean, 21, that means it's half of your goals that was recorded. Wow. So, do you think anybody would come close in the nearest, like, who do you think would come close to scoring this number of goals that you scored for Benin Republic? Looking at what they've got now.
Anybody can come and, break the record, and no matter how. All I always achieve in my life is if I can always aspire something, or if I'm always thinking about something, if I've already I'm close to that place, or I am there already, I've always fulfilled. I don't think about maybe somebody will go ahead of me or somebody is behind me. I always just think like, okay, at least you left your home, you said you are going to Oshodi. Once you get to Bolade, you're close that means you have to work hard. Or your opportunity to get to show the bus stop, then you might not be MC Olomo as the national union of Oshodi, but at least you get there because you want to get there. That's the object. The subject is to work more hard. If you want them to turn you to shaman, you work hard to it. But at least from your house, you have made a huge step to Oshodi.
Wow. Interesting. So give us a feel what it's like, because in the national team of Nigeria, in the Super Eagles, we understand how it is in terms of relationship. Who was your best friend at the national team of Benin Republic? Every time you get there, who is your best partner that you guys are always together, maybe your roommates or someone?
Well, when it comes to that, I'm a genius. I don't have best friend. I always have people, because my room is not with full with players, joking, laughing, talking. Even it got to a stage, I've become the camp commanders. Like, okay, Obeli, we play from this hour to this hour. When it gets to this hour, everybody. So, after let's say we train at 5, we finish at 7, dinner at 8, everybody's coming to my room. Immediately, like, okay, 10:30, 11, say, guys, let's everybody go and sleep. So I always have a friend, but I only knew I have a few ones that got my back. Like, okay, big bro, what happened yesterday is not right, it's that. It's only a few ones. But when it comes to a crowd, I have it.
All right. Let me just quickly say again. Thank you everybody for being a part of this. Please, if you are not following our page, please try and follow our page. Help us grow. We're trying to educate people. We're trying to make sure that people have enough information before they take certain steps.
Moria Disa.
Right? So we want to make sure that people have certain information before you make any move in your life, in your career as a footballer, before you make any move at all. Now, in Benin Republic, right? Let me say from Nigeria, we've had a lot of people coming out, ex-Nigerian internationals. They say that they were asked to pay to play for the national team. Do these things happen in Benin?
There is no way there is no ball playing. You understand? Everywhere in this world, ball is rolling. Football is always rolling. There is tit for tat. There's all those things everywhere. In part of the world, leave Benin alone. Even in England, so-called Yankee that you did today. Everywhere in the world, there is tit for tat. That's why I told you, like, if a player is moving these days, it's a lot of movements happen behind before the deal was sealed. Do you understand? So, but if it happens in Nigeria most time, maybe it's bad way of life, but it happens everywhere. So don't even push it to because of Nigeria alone. But it might be constant happening in Nigerian society or Nigerian world. So there's nothing anyone can do about that.
Interesting. So who was your favorite coach when you were playing? Who was your favorite coach when you were playing in either Europe or Benin Republic? In Europe or in Benin?
Yeah. I have 3 coaches I can choose as my best coach ever and encouraging coach. And they can also be there for you when it comes to family wise. So I have Ashantiata from Egypt when I was in Samalek. I have Stuart Bastas. He's right now South African coach. I think he's also a HRC coach. When I was in Edinburgh, then the third one, I can give it to my national team coach, Monsieur Desuye. Even if he's a little bit wrong me, but at least most of the time It's always being there, like, okay, mentally, if you're down, their coach, they can just say, what is wrong with you? Forget about this. They can give you a nice smile, and then you'll be fantastic on the pitch.
Some people say that there was some time when Nigeria would want to play Benin Republic. They would say, our people Iman Shogun, these people, they do jazz. These people. Is it true? Like, is there juju in football? Do you believe there is juju in football?
Yeah, let's say it this way. To me personally, as a person, Razak, I don't believe in juju, like okay. But I believe in spirit. You understand? Once, like, okay, you felt this man has already asked me, and
yes, we're with you now. We're with you now. It was breaking earlier. It was breaking. Yeah. So we're with you now.
So if you're thinking like, okay, because I know you already have the juju with you, and I've weighed myself down, then it make it work for you 100%. But if I have come close to know, like, okay, forget about it, I know what to do. So you keep yourself informed, you keep yourself up here. Okay, maybe there are a lot of things you can do to avoid it. You cannot say there is no juju. Do you understand? Because God has made them and give them the power. So there's no one can discriminate that or take it out of the world. But juju cannot take you to where you are going to. If Ronaldo can be the only player that trains most in the world, then what are you telling me? So it means training works more than juju. Juju can only just push it a little bit, okay, make it sharp, but to be honest, juju cannot make you a footballer. Never.
We have one of the things that we do. We want to send a strong message out to boys that want to leave Africa, just to go to Europe without proper arrangement, not even invited by a club. We've seen many of these things happen. Do you think that's the right way to move from Africa? Did you get that, Razak? Are you there?
I hear you. I'm here. The network is breaking now. So what are you saying?
Yes. So I said that one of the strong messages that we like to send to people is that there are better ways to develop rather than trying to escape from Africa. A lot of people want to escape. They want to run. They don't travel. They just want to travel out of Nigeria. Just take me to Europe, and I will be a superstar. Does it work like that?
Let me put it this way. First, in Yoruba, they said, "Ọmọ tó bá sọ ilé nù, ó sọ àpò ìyàpọ̀ ni," or something like that. So you neglect your home and said you want to go and start playing somewhere. Can you face the bitterness? The day you are not going to be eating, the day you are not going to be feeding, the day they are not going to do whatever you want, can you just face it? Is one question. Two, playing a grassroots football in Nigeria, playing all those things, with the blessing of God, you will be there. You can also be there. Fine, you said that it's not good. Osase might be would you want to join me today? The day Osase was signing Bender Insurance, the same day I signed for a baby. It's playing grassroots. I'm playing grassroots. So all we needed is to pray, rather than for me to go to here to Kano, Kano to Libya, Libya to Japan. Wetin happen? I dey fight God. No, because if everybody wants to say that I want to be Ronaldo, you can't be. I've said it, and I will not even repeat it. You can't be like Ronaldo. It's either you are richer than Ronaldo, or you are not even up to the task. I can't be like Dangote. I will be proud to be more than Dangote, because Dangote has established his life, established himself. So the only two things I can do for myself is to work harder than Dangote. So how can someone is traveling from Lagos to Kaduna, Kaduna to where, and this don't go? Then when you go there, that is a question. Are they going to give you that right? Are they going to give you that opportunity with the stress you left from Lagos or wherever you live? So it's not advisable. And as a parent, if you want your kids to play in Europe, put them in an academy, pay for the academy every week or week out or monthly, then see what they can bring out for you. Not because they won't go London, they'll go. London and Boston. Are you telling me in Watford, in all those teams, they don't have their own kid? They have. So you bringing 10 players or bring all your 10 children to Watford or to Millwall, to Chelsea, you bring 10 players, and they have their own children too. And you want them to neglect their children and put your own children inside. Let's walk. Let's do the right thing. Let's have a preparation. And that's why you can see the biggest country in the world, Brazil, Argentina, they always have players they are sold for 40 million euro, 30 million euro. Do you know why? Their league is appropriate. Their league is moving. Their league is functioning. Even some players will have issue in Europe, they will go back to their league for 6 months, for 5 months to recruit themselves, to build themselves. They will still come back to Europe with a huge amount. I don't know how to do it, but if you are listening to me, you're listening to something. There is no Nigerian player that will be playing in Man U now. Igalo, I'm sorry, I want to use that for example. If you have an issue with Man U now, does Igalo will think to come to Iba to play for 6 months?
Never. That won't even be an option. He would rather go to China, go back to China.
But that is why you see a Brazilian, they are always ahead of us every time, because they can bounce back on their league. No matter what happens, Argentinians, they will bounce back on their league. Even if the care is not taken with their league, they will still be invited to the national team.
Exactly. Very true.
So what are we telling you? So we have to bring our league upstairs, make it solid. Anybody can, if you want your kid to be everywhere, he will be. But don't put the kid on the risk because he wants it to be in Arsenal. Who is going to take care of it? Him or her? No. But you used to lie to us, if you go London, go do it. For some people, for instance, it's hard for them to get the visa and ticket on it. Maybe their last money they used to do. How is he going to join Arsenal team? Yorùbá máa sọ pé àràgbé láyé. You can't get things for free.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, everybody has their own way of thinking and how they say things, but that's the best I can say to myself.
Very, very
so
true.
The best thing
very
I
true.
can say to anyone that likes me or that I like.
Thank you so much. I've got one last question. So guys, if you have any questions, so we have maybe a few minutes. let's say 5 minutes to stay with Razak so that we can allow him rest, because we've gone over 1 hour already. So who was your role model? Which player were you always looking forward to when you were young? Which player were you always looking forward to as your role model?
Well, I have 2 big players that I have a big passion. Let me say from Rashidi Ekini. It's the only player that I don't want to say any spike player. It's Rashidi Ekini because I know he have it, he's going to score. But when he's out of Nigeria, and when I see another expensive football, I would say Ronaldo de Lima, because he's another footballer that I have seen different part of games in his life and his stories. So that I can put as my role model, somebody that I've been always thinking like, one day I want to wear this shirt, I want to score like this guy, I want to do this, I want to do that. So that's the 2 players that I watch football a lot, but these 2 players, they are exceptional.
So tell us, where are you now? Are you with a club or are you out of club? What are you doing now?
No, I'm back to Benin to play with my my local team, Benin. And also maybe I'll be invited for the national team for the next game. But I'm not putting that as my power. I will just need to at least kick the rank ladder first. That's what I do for a living.
Very interesting. I want to say a very big thank you to you, but one final word from you to the kids. So there's someone here, Bayonle Arashi. He said he enjoyed the short one he watched. Thank you, Razak, for the positive words and being real. So I also want to say a very big thank you to you, Razak. Your positive words are very, very important to us. And then you were also very real with us. You gave it to us the way we wanted it. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, and we want to wish you the best in the future. If you want to play for the national team, you want to keep playing club football, it is okay. We will talk some more, and then we want you to give a final word for the young players that are coming up. One final word before we go.
Yeah, there's not much to say to any young player. All I can say from the day one that I'm talking to you is keep loving football. Let the football be your priority if you love it. Because that is your priority. It's just that a student that is going to school. Let Kazim Ahmed Momo. So let it be your priority. Think about it and move towards it. If you have to be at the training at 7 o'clock, let it be at 7 o'clock. If it has to be there at 10 o'clock, don't be late. Keep it like your idol, keep it like your God, and pray towards it. That's the only secret about football. There's nothing about football, because football is all about chance. They ask you to come for a game, you fail not to go there. Some talent will come there and they'll pick him up. So you keep your own talent. You kill it. You destroy it yourself. So punctuality is the soul of the business. Good night.
Thank you so much, bros. Let me say bros now. So guys, if you're not following us, please follow our page. You'll get more of this kind of interviews, but this particular one we're going to share on our page, and then we will also post it on YouTube. It's going to be available on YouTube. So the full version, for anybody that has missed it, you're going to get the full version on YouTube. Football is all about chance. Punctuality is very important. Thank you so much, Razak Omotoyossi. We really appreciate your time. Your close to 2 hours that you spent with us. It was quite educating and very interesting.
Ciao.
All right, thank you so much. So we have to go now. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so
bye.
much, Razak. Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. Razak Omotoyossi, he gave us his own word, and then he told us what he passed through as a professional, how he had to suffer, leave Nigeria, banned for 5 years, and then signed up for Benin Republic. It wasn't an easy journey for him. But if you want to catch all of these, please visit our page, like our page, follow our page, and then watch the video, the full version of the video. Thank you so much. My name remains Amos Joseph. Bye-bye.